Paving the Way podcast. Welcome to 5 Minute Mondays with your host, Medusa. Come listen to some fascinating stories, affirmations, wisdom, and even a few interviews of people that have paved the way and are paving the way in their journey of success. Listen to their timeline of adversities from traumas to triumph, and also listen to some guidance of life and even a few workshops of living your best life, digging deep and understanding the science of happiness, learning how to bounce back, the art of being present, 7 reasons to be mindful, the power of gratitude, and so much more. Paving the Way podcast with your host, Medusa.
Welcome to 5 Minute Mondays, Paving the Way podcast with your host, me, Medusa. Hi, welcome. So glad you're showing up, hitting that little button, and taking a listen to a podcast that I absolutely enjoy doing every week. Why? Not only do I get to fill your car with my voice, or your room, or, but I get your undivided attention with knowledge that I have just totally immersed myself in with certain subjects. Certain subjects have become very a part of my life, and it's about sharing them with you. And so I've been on this journey about aging and how beautiful it actually is, and how we age from the day we're born. So it's not just, hey, it's an older person's thing. It's, hey, you were just born, bitch, and you're getting older. So we are going to wrap up this whole couple of weeks of aging tonight or today, and share with you the ending of this whole journey that I took you on. So if you've listened for the last couple weeks, and you understand what I'm talking about, all the different facets of aging, and how important it is to pay attention to your choices in life, the people, your environment, food, finance, because it has a lot to do with aging and how well you do age. So let's back up a couple steps, and let's talk about this last episode here on aging. And it's about creating your resilience of aging vision. Okay. And that is a lot. First of all, I got like tons of questions from last week, and they were super amazing. Let me see, let me get her name here. She said I could mention her name, so I'm so super excited. It just tickles me with all these questions. Again, guys, if you can leave questions directly at Spreaker. I believe also I am going to get a specific email for direct, questions, and hopefully I'll be able to get to them. And I know there's an email that is connected to a lot of your questions and whatnot. I know that this is also transferred over to the YouTube account, and there's a lot of conversations over there. So, and I pop in over there and I try to get on there and answer them as well. So that is in the works. All right, that's good. Oh, that's great. I love it. Okay, so Carly, I just love that name. Reminds me of a singer back in the day. Carly Simon, I believe, right? Carly had a couple questions, but she was really interested in about like aerobic exercising and preventing diseases and how does it really lengthen the lifespan. Well, again, I do not have a PhD, so I'm not telling you what is right or what is wrong, but I can tell you from a woman that's going to be 60 here next year, that's me, that the key to life is keep moving. So any type of exercise, if it's walking, riding a mountain bike, if it's rock climbing, or if it's aerobics, if it's archery, if it's kayaking, you take your pick. Keep moving, because it is our lubrication to our body, right? And if you, again, I cannot stress enough, the more you sit, the more sedentary you become, and it just gets harder and harder. Now, I started a new workout regimen, and my hands, as I get older, my wrists, it's very hard for me to do push-ups, to grasp things. It could be due to what I'm eating. Is it the salt intake? Is it the swelling caused lots of problems when, as you know, each time you have an injury, you're always going to have that area that's always going to be protecting itself, right? And so what happens when it protects itself? It everything like runs to that area in your body, and it like protects it and it heals it. It's like a healing mechanism, and it's like swelling, and swelling hurts, and inflammation is one of our biggest killers here, right? So again, Carly, exercise, yes, is very important. Exercise of the mind, exercise of the body, very important, and it does help prevent and minimize diseases, very much so. So hopefully that helped you, Carly. I mean, I started a new workout regimen because you have to mix it up. You just become stagnant if you keep doing the same thing over and over, right? And so I started using the little hand squeezies with compression, with pressure. And so I can keep the strength in my hands and my wrist. Now, mine is just due to, 19 years of driving a monster truck and crushing and hanging onto the steering wheel with an impact of 10,000 pounds at, it could be 70 miles an hour. That's insane, right? So in trying to hang on to the steering wheel a little bit, and, it causes some problems. Also, I was boxing for years, and the training was crazy back then. I mean, I would just wrap my hands with cloth, and they had us punching telephone poles, for Christ's sake. I mean, it's I don't even know how I have wrists at this point, right? So everything I can do to keep it moving, lubricated, heat, warmth, especially when it's cold. I mean, in Florida tonight, it is 28 degrees in Florida, and I'm not lying. I live north of Tampa, and it is cold, 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 cold. So, Carly, I hope that really helps you. It is so important. Just find your own momentum. Find your workout. Speak to your doctor, or speak to a friend, speak to a trainer, and be honest when you speak to your trainer and you fill out the paper and let them know exactly what you want. I know that sometimes we're scared or embarrassed by telling them the truth of this or that, but you're only going to get better by telling them the truth and of all your body ailments or your surgeries or whatever, okay? So the first step is face fear and be honest and open up. And keep that body moving. Keep that body moving. You're gonna be moving and grooving. Okay, so nope, I won't do that again. All right, so let's get into this episode. Okay, guys. So in this course, we've explored some of the key health investments that we can make to be at our best with age. So, unlike financial investments made for retirement, where we have to sock away money and let it grow without touching it, our health investments pay dividends right away. So, anything we do to set our older selves up for resilience will get better. As you know, just it'll get better. It will. You got to stick to it, okay? Aging well is just living well. Let me repeat that. Aging well is just living well, okay? Know your limits, but live your best life, okay? We focused on 4 areas of health. And it was emotional, social, cognitive, and physical. And these health components are interrelated, with investments in one area generally supporting the other activity, right? Or other aspects of health. So plus you can incorporate actions for multiple health areas into one multifaceted activity. So, for example, you will be more willing to persist with the frustration of learning about a challenging new issue, cognitive, let's say, if you connect the subject with one of your core values, emotional, and discuss it with a friend, social, right? There you go. So you could even invite your friend to take a walk with you physically while you talk about a new topic. It does. It helps. Find somebody, right? I like to do things alone sometimes, only because of my schedule. But it is nice to have that friend once in a while, right? Especially when you're training, lifting weights, and you need a spotter. But we've also explored a framework for living now and long term. And ideally, each day involves meaningful engagement, learning, social connection, and physical activity. It doesn't always have to be involved in a huge, big stretch or challenge. But if you begin to structure your daily living around these 4 areas of health, I swear your life will be enriched and you will be building the habits for lifelong well-being. All right? Again, journaling's everything. So let's just picture ourselves. All right? Let's picture ourselves. Create a vision of yourself flourishing with age. All right? How do you see yourself? What is that? Right? Now, I've always, in anything, if it's competition, relationships, my mind does, I'm all over the place, 100 miles an hour, but I always go back to where I was racing in the championships. And I had this vision the night before at the hotel, and I just sat there and I said to myself, and I was sitting on the bed and I said it out loud. I said, I'm going to win tomorrow night. I feel it. I see it. I'm going to win. So I worked so hard all year for this World Finals. And I finally felt tuned into that moment. And I visioned myself like ahead, like what it was going to be like. What did I look like? What was the weather like? What was the dirt like? What did I do after I won? Like, that's me. I'm a visionary.